Hey, what's going on guys, it's Chum here, and today, as I'm sure many of you guys know, is Pokemon Day, which marks the anniversary of the creation of the first ever Pokemon game, and of course, the launch of the series, the franchise, the amazing thing that we know and love today. And I wanted to celebrate today by making a few different videos. If you haven't already seen it, there should be a video already out in which I talk about my favorite Pokemon memories and what the series means to me. And later today, if it's not already out, there will also be another video where I try out some Pokemon branded drinks, which is pretty interesting. So make sure you check that one out when it comes out. Anyway guys, let's move on to the topic of this video, and that is, what 6 Pokemon would I take with me on my journey? Now, the reason I want to make this video is because not too long ago, when they were kind of doing a countdown to Pokemon Day, the number 6 day, I guess, or the 6th day before Pokemon Day, they put out a little thing saying there are 6 Pokemon that you take with you on your journey, and of course they did a 5, a 4, a 3, a 2, a 1 until it was, of course, Pokemon Day. Now, that actually got me thinking as to what 6 Pokemon I would take with me on the journey, and of course this is me disregarding whether or not it's a competitive Pokemon, its typing, its movesets, its, base stat spread. This is all about the Pokemon and what it means to me, and whether or not I would take it with me on my journey. So we're going to kick things off with number 1, a very, very obvious pick, and that of course is Charizard. As I'm sure many of you guys know, and by the thumbnail and everything about this channel, Charizard is kind of our mascot here, and it's because he holds a very special place in my heart. One of my favorite Pokemon that I've loved ever since I first started playing the game, watching the anime and everything about Pokemon. Charizard's just been one of my favorites. I know a lot of people say he's overrated, but I absolutely love him, and like it's honestly ridiculous how much I love this Pokemon. I still remember way back in the day when I first evolved my Charmeleon into Charizard, and I was so ecstatic, and despite him being a bit of a disrespectful Pokemon, just to keep things PG, I still always love to see Charizard in action. He looks so cool, an absolute blast to see on screen, and he had some incredible battles along the way too. I mean, he faced Entei, he was ballsy enough to take Mewtwo head on in the movie, he took on Articuno and won. Like, it's absolutely amazing, and Charizard's done some crazy stuff in the anime, and I absolutely love him, and I love seeing him in action. It's absolutely wonderful. And I have to say, another reason that Charizard holds a very special place in my heart is because, as a kid, because of my name, Chum, people used to call me Chumander and Charmander because they knew I loved Pokemon, and that ended up sticking. In fact, later in primary school, I actually got called Charmeleon because my friends would say, "You've evolved now, you're a high enough level to evolve," and I was like, I guess you could say that. And I guess now that I'm an adult, you could probably say that I'm Charizard. So, I mean, it is really fitting, and it's really fitting for him to be on the channel, of course. That means he has to make this list. Anyway, moving on to number 2, the second Pokemon I would want with me on my journey, that is Jolteon. Now, this Pokemon, I don't really have a good reason as to why I love this Pokemon and want it on my team. Like, it's one of those Pokemon that it's always been there and I've always loved, but without ever realizing it, it honestly became one of my favorites, and there's no real historic reason why. I know historic is a bit of a weird word to use, but I just don't have a reason. Like I said, Charizard, of course, feels very close to me because of blah, but Jolteon is very close to my heart for honestly no reason apart from the fact that I just love it. Like, there's nothing really to say here. I do have one crazy memory of me back in Pokemon Yellow, yes, Generation 1. I had a Jolteon that I raised up to level 61 in the Cinnabar Mansion. Thinking, what's so special with that? The Pokemon in Cinnabar Mansion were like level 40 or 30, like 40 max. I swear they're level 30, and I don't even know how I had the patience to get Jolteon to level 60 in that place. I don't even understand. This might even be a falsified memory. I might be remembering this wrong. I don't know. It sounds that ridiculous to me. But, oh my goodness, I don't understand why. Jolteon's just amazing. And I have to say, ever since I started playing competitive and started using Jolteon, it's been so reliable to me as well. It's a beautiful Pokemon. It gets like Volt Switch. It's very, very powerful, very, very fast. It can very easily OHKO certain Pokemon using HP Ice or Hidden Power Ice. And it's been such an asset to me in battles, and it's been so reliable in battles, and I absolutely love this creature. It is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time. So yeah, that's where Jolteon fits on that list. Then moving on to the third member of our team, it's going to be Mamoswine. Now, Mamoswine's a Pokemon that at the time that I first discovered it, or first came out, I never thought it would be one of my favorites. It was just the evolution of Piloswine, which is a Pokemon that really didn't matter to me, because if you have watched our previous video about, me and Pokemon, you know that I didn't play too much of Generation 2 until the later games came out, in which we had, of course, Gen 4, their evolutions, and then, of course, the remakes of Gen 2. But yeah, Mamoswine never really stood out to me way back when, but in Generation 6, in fact, somehow I got my hands on a Mamoswine. I think at the time I was trying to achieve the completed Pokedex, and I got a Mamoswine off of the Global Trade Station. And this Mamoswine happened to have 4 IVs, and at the time I was still learning about IVs, hadn't even bred my own Pokemon, and I thought, hey, if this thing has 4 IVs, why didn't I try, use it in a competitive battle? And so I did, and ever since that day, this Mamoswine, or my Mamoswine that I bred myself, has been such a reliable Pokemon for me. It always comes through. You guys should know by now if you watch the streams that my favorite Mamoswine set is running it with Focus Sash, because people don't really expect it, and it can quite easily get one-shot, and guaranteeing that this Pokemon gets a hit off is wonderful, because usually any attack plus an Ice Shot will pick up the KO, so it's a very, very powerful Pokemon. I absolutely love it. I feel as though it's kind of my gateway into competitive battling. Like, I knew about IVs, I knew that they existed, but I never really discovered or never really tried to learn more about them and learn how to actually breed Pokemon and make my own team that is, quote-unquote battle ready. And then Mamoswine showed up and really taught me what it meant to battle competitively, and I absolutely love it for that. And I still love it to this day because of how reliable it is in battle. Anyway guys, moving on to the 4th Pokemon on this list, we have Staraptor. Now, this Pokemon is another Pokemon I absolutely love. And again, if you guys have watched the previous video in which I talked about Pokemon and my memories and my history with the game, you'll know that Generation 4 has been and always will be one of my favorite generations, one of my favorite games, and specifically Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum. Now, in this game, in the Sinnoh region, every single time I would restart the game or play through the game, I would always be so ecstatic to catch a new Starly, evolve it into a new Staravia, and then finally get that beautiful Staraptor. This Pokemon is one of my favorite Pokemon of all time, and by far the best, in my opinion, by far the best early game bird Pokemon that they have ever had in the Pokemon series. It's a beautiful creature, it looks majestic, it looks powerful, it's got this sleek black design, it's perfection in bird form. Staraptor is amazing, I absolutely love it. Now, I just want to point out that Luxray is also one of the Pokemon that fit in this category of things that I loved in Generation 4. However, Luxray did just fall shy of making this list, and in fact, I guess I could say it's an honorable mention because I loved using Luxray as well, getting that Shinx, Luxio, Luxray. That was a dynamic duo, those two, in my opinion, during the Sinnoh region. Luxray and Staraptor, they were my dynamic duo. Whatever starter I picked, I always had them on my team because they were just so amazing. But like I said, Staraptor makes the list because it's sleek, it's badass, it's majestic, it's powerful, it's all those things wrapped up into one. Not to mention the fact that it's a flying type Pokemon that can close combat a rock type and kill it. How crazy is that? I love it. Absolutely amazing Pokemon. Now moving on to number 5 on our list is actually a very, very new Pokemon, and that is Kommo-o. Ever since Kommo-o was revealed in the trailers for Pokemon Sun and Moon, I absolutely loved that creature. I thought it looked amazing, and reading about its lore and its pre-evolution, I thought they sounded super, super amazing, super, super cool. I love Kommo-o's design, and battling it in the demo that we got before the game came out was such an amazing experience. So cool to see the beautiful Pokemon. And then they revealed Kommo-o, and at first I was a bit skeptical. I was like, you know what, it feels like all these features are really, really overdone. It looks a little bit lame. I would prefer Kommo-o. That's what I thought at first. But after getting my hands on the Kommo-o and using it in battle, I absolutely love it. Even before it got this most busted Z move in the game, I love using Kommo-o. It's a very powerful Pokemon, very versatile, has a really, really interesting moveset, and of course I used to run it back in the day with the fighting type Z move, which I used Focus Blast at the slot. So Focus Blast results in a very, very powerful Z move, and of course using the Z move meant that I was able to use my Focus Blast without ever missing, which is absolutely amazing. It's a very, very cool combo, but now with the introduction of Kommo-o EMZ, I of course use that all the time. And ever since I've been using Kommo-o in Generation 7, I absolutely love the Pokemon. Very, very cool, very, very powerful. And I just think it really emanates this aura of badassery, even outside of its totem battle, in which, trust me, it's so badass. I love it. I could not explain how much I love this Pokemon. It's so badass. Such a unique, type of Pokemon that it has its scales it uses for attacks. And the fact that it has both bulletproof and soundproof. I know I said this isn't about Pokemon's competitive viability, but I think it's so cool that it's immune to both of them, because what that means is you can't safely go for a bomb move on a Kommo-o, even if it has soundproof, because you don't know that. And you can't safely go for a Hyper Voice on a Kommo-o, because even though it might have bulletproof, you never know, and you don't want to waste your move. So it's very, very cool that he can do that. It's very, very cool that he kind of fits in that really unique space, and overall he's just a very powerful Pokemon with what I consider to be the best and most awesome Z move in the game. And then finally, the last Pokemon I would take with me on my journey, and trust me, it was really, really hard to close off this list without ruling out some amazing Pokemon that I love. Like I said, Luxray I love, Scizor I love, so many Pokemon out there I love so much, and I wish I could have a team bigger than 6, but the last slot goes to Noivern. Now, ever since I saw Noivern for Generation 6, I thought this is the coolest Dragon-type Pokemon ever. Oh my god, look at it. It's got fangs, it's got ears that are speakers, it's so badass. And then I saw its stats, and I was like, why does this Pokemon suck? I mean, of course it doesn't suck. I knew it didn't suck, but it wasn't the pseudo legendary of the region, and that really disappointed me because I was like, this would be the coolest pseudo legendary ever. It's absolutely amazing. I never loved a pseudo legendary so much, and this of course was before Kommo-o came out. And I was so excited for that, and seeing that it wasn't as pseudo legendary, seeing that it wasn't the Pokemon with 500, is it 500 or 600 base stats? I'm confused. I don't even remember. I think it's 600. I think that's how pseudo legendaries work. But to see that it wasn't the powerful pseudo legendary I thought it would be, I was very disappointed. But as I'm sure many of you guys know, at least those of you guys who watch the streams, Noivern is trust personified. This Pokemon surmounts the most impossible challenges. If you guys have watched the streams, we've had some incredible battles where Noivern just sees the biggest, most horrifying enemy and he's like, so, Draco for game? So, Hurricane for game? Like, this thing, it's taken out Necrozma, it's taken out Keldeo, it's taken out so many powerful Pokemon that by any means, and by all rights, should be able to one-shot Noivern and destroy him. But he doesn't care. He just blows them away with confidence. I love it. I love Noivern. It's such a reliable Pokemon that I've had in battles, and I think it's such a beautiful creature. I love that it uses echolocation. I love Noibat, how it goes from being such a cute little Pokemon, which you guys couldn't see my hand yesterday. I was kind of, showing the size of it, but it's such a cute little Pokemon that evolves into such a badass Pokemon. I absolutely love this creature. Again, one of my favorites, of course, why it made this top 6 Pokemon, or at least, the 6 Pokemon I take on my team. And just being able to see it come through in battle the way that it never has before. I never imagined it could, especially during these live streams. It's absolutely amazing. It's a fun Pokemon, and it fits perfectly with Jolteon, in fact, because I usually run a rain team, which has, of course, Jolteon with his Thunder, and Noivern with its Hurricane, which, speaking of Hurricane, I don't think Noivern knows that it's 70% accurate because I can't remember the last time it missed. And I'm talking about, hey, Hurricane in rain, 100% accuracy. There have been a number of times where I'm like, oh no, the rain's gone. I just click Hurricane and hope for the best. And Noivern's like, don't worry fam, I got you. Even if I don't have eyes, I have echolocation and I'll always find my target. Absolutely incredible Pokemon, like I said. It's crazy that it's number 6, or not really number 6, but the 6 Pokemon I mentioned, I've talked so ecstatically about it. Like I said, I just love it. And every single Pokemon on this list I love, Like I said, Charizard, it feels like a part of me. Jolteon, I love for no reason at all. Mamoswine introduced me to competitive battling, and it's had my back ever since that first day. Staraptor, the beautiful, sleek, badass, flying type Pokemon that looks at rock type Pokemon and says, you're my next prey. Noivern, the beast that takes down legendaries, and Kommo-o, the dancing, music-making, scale-bound beast that it is. I love these Pokemon. This is the team that I would run with me, and of course, like I said, so many honorable mentions. I'd love to bring a Scizor, I'd love to bring a Luxray. These Pokemon I absolutely love, but because Pokemon is so cruel, forcing us to bring on the 6 Pokemon, this is my team. So, of course, guys, if you have your own opinions on what 6 Pokemon you would bring on your journey, leave them in the comment section below. I'd love to know what you guys think. This video has been way longer than I ever expected. I might cut it down a little bit. I don't know. We'll see how it goes, but let me know what you think, what Pokemon you'd bring on your journey in the comment section below. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. And overall, I just hope you guys have a wonderful Pokemon day, because this day is all about celebrating Pokemon. Of course, everyone watching this video, and imagine I'm Pokemon fans. So overall, I want to thank you guys for watching. If you liked this rant, if you liked me, and you want to see more of my content, feel free to subscribe if you're not already. And of course, leave a like if you did like the video. But overall, I just want to thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. And until next time, I hope you guys have a wonderful day.